Technology has become a big part of our everyday lives. We are connected to technology almost 24/7, and I am sure most of you will take your smartphone with you everywhere you go. But technology has not just changed our private lives, but also our working lives, creating new opportunities, but also a lot of challenges. So how will the future workforce be affected by technology, and how will leaders adapt themselves to this new environment? Well, this is what we will try to present to you today in this video. The first of the two major points we're going to be discussing today is the impact of technology on the future workforce. We're currently in the fourth industrial revolution, robotisation, meaning our lives in general are becoming more digitalised. The main consequence of this is that people and their jobs are going to be replaced by technology known as automation. More than 10 million UK workers are at high risk of being replaced by technology in the next 10 years, and 5 million professions will be gone by 2020. This shows that technology does not only affect the future workforce, it shapes it. It is predicted that employees in retail, manufacturing and wholesale will be affected the most, with almost 4 million jobs being lost to technology. Examples of this happening today can include online shopping instead of going into town, or ordering food with a touchscreen instead of seeing a waiter. So what should a leader do in the context of automation? The key challenge here is motivation. Herzberg's two-factor theory should always be in mind. Motivation is a matter of providing as much motivators as possible and trying to manage the hygiene factors at the same time. So in our scenario of the factory, a leader should not pay too much attention on wages and working conditions, just provide them to a reasonable manner. The leader should show employees that they have great responsibility and the work has an effect on the company's whole performance, which is likely to create intrinsic motivation. But even though technology will replace some jobs, many are still done by humans, but with the influence of technology affecting the way that they work. New technologies have brought the ability to work from home by making use of the internet, email and telephone. Telecommuting makes communication more difficult in general, as it takes away the non-verbal interaction. Non-verbal communications, such as gestures and expressions, cannot be translated through technology, therefore making it difficult for members within the same team to understand each other properly. This demonstrates why it's important for the leader to have some physical contact with all employees, even if telecommuting is integrated into the business. Another problem is the issue with different time zones. Leaders will have to organise meetings that suit all parties involved, wherever they are in the world, which is not an easy job. One way of how this might look is having a meeting via Skype, which is meant to be shown on the drawing, but I guess you can tell we're not art students. Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership can be applied to telecommuting. Depending on the situation and the attitudes of the employees, the leader can decide whether to delegate, support, coach or direct the employees in order to ensure the best performance of each employee. So overall, working in different places does create challenges, and the leader needs to be aware of that. That was the first major influence on the future workforce, and now we'll move on to our second point, which is about education and jobs. Firstly, employers are demanding more out of their employees. They want highly skilled workers with good educational backgrounds. Recent statistics show that 28% of jobs don't need any qualifications on entry, falling to 19% in the near future, whereas 26% of jobs required a degree, increasing to 33%. Predictions for 2022 show how the net demand for high and medium skilled workers is likely to change. It is predicted that there will be an increase of 60% from the 2012 figure, and an increase of 52% for medium skilled workers. Hersey and Blanchard's situational leadership can be applied here. If the majority of workers are becoming skilled and highly educated, leaders can take a more delegative approach, as the workforce is more knowledgeable and specialised in their particular area. Since the early 2000s, the occupations in the UK have changed a lot. For example, 8.7% of the UK workforce were in management or senior official jobs in 2000, whereas 11.8% were in elementary occupations, which include jobs such as cleaners and manufacturers. Predictions for 2020 show that management jobs are likely to increase to 11.1%, but elementary occupations will decrease to 10.2%. In businesses that have a variety of different departments which have different cultures, different leadership styles will be needed for the different cultures. For example, people in elementary occupations may benefit more from autocratic leadership, whereas highly skilled workers are likely to benefit more from democratic leadership. As we have seen, professional jobs are becoming increasingly demanded within the business environment, but unskilled jobs are beginning to deplete. This suggests that the future workforce in the UK is likely to become more knowledgeable due to more people going through higher education to get jobs if they don't meet the necessary requirements of their employers. This is especially important due to the developments in technology that are likely to replace many unskilled workers. Now let's move on to the conclusion. Technology will cause an automation of work processes, meaning that more and more workers will get replaced by machines and robots. A good leader should first of all acknowledge this problem and provide support for those who fear losing their jobs. The ultimate aim for the leader is to create intrinsic motivation so that people are willing to move on. Next up, we identified the challenges connected with telecommuting, namely that communication in the workplace is happening increasingly through technology. Here, the leader should adjust his problem solving to each employee individually. Not one solution fits all, and this idea is closely related to situational leadership. Regarding the future workforce, we have seen that a leader needs to be aware of the versatile changes in different parts of the work process and respond to them in order to transform these into opportunities. Thank you for watching.